Okay, so
Audible, ma'am.
okay. Is the screen visible? Hello, is the screen
Yes,
visible?
ma'am.
Okay. So I'll start today's session. So this is the course modules out of which we have covered from module 1 to 5, and we are at module 5, that is incentive design. So in module 4, these are the topics which we have covered in the week 3 lecture, where we have discussed about the daily's operational principle of sustainable development. What are the indicators for sustainable development, including GNNP, genuine savings, which covers the environmental factors, usage of raw material from environment, as well as environmental degradation, unlike the current economic indicators such as GDP, GNP, and NNP. After that, we have discussed the factors affecting the beta value. That is, in the Daly's principle, we have said that certain investment have to be done for the future consumption. So, what is this level of investment which we have to do, which depends on various factors such as current rate of extraction, and then what is the discount factor, and then what is the current stock of non-renewable resources which we have. So, and then we have discussed the limitations of Daly's principle. Also, after that, we have talked about the regulation and how it helps in enhancing the firm's competitiveness. Or in the old concept, we have said that by imposing regulation, the firm competitiveness will be affected negatively. After that, we have talked about Porter's hypothesis. So he had hypothesized that with imposition of regulations, the firm will improve its performance. So the firm will gain profit when there is imposition of regulation. So this is in contrast to old concept in which the regulation is assumed to be impacted the firm in negative way, because it gives the firm certain burden to come in the standard of regulations. So Porter have certain arguments which in favor of his hypothesis. After that, we talked about limitations of Porter hypothesis, and then we have also talked about Palmer et al. Theory, which is against the Porter hypothesis. And then we have also talked about the limitations of Palmer theory. Okay. So now, after that, we talk about market failures. So market failure is when the market is not able to achieve its objective, that is, max efficient allocation of resources. So market failure happens when there is uh, externality, and when there is imperfect market, and when the price signal is not proper. So in case of environmental asset, there is no proper price signaling, because of which there is certain market failures which happen. So uh, this is a broader way of definition of market failure. And then we talked about externalities. So externalities are impact which a consumer and a producer is making on third person, for which he is not being compensated. So that in that case, if I am impacting the third person in negative way, then it can be termed as negative externality. And if I am helping in positive way, then it can be called as positive externality. After that, we talked about marginal abatement cost curve. So with abatement of additional unit of pollution, the cost of abatement increases. So how it is such And then we also talked about the tax which needs to be levied on the firm so as to achieve the optimum abatement level. After that, we talk about supply and demand model and then the cost theorem. So, based on all this, first we will try to solve one. Uh, so, in this lecture, we will cover all this. We will revise cost theorem for a while, and then we will talk about limitations of cost theorem, and then we will go towards the incentive design, why it is required and how it is levied. And then we'll talk about Pigovan tax, and then we will talk about uncertainty in incentive design, and then limitations of emission tax, and then we will cover a part of tradable pollution permit. So before going forward, we will solve this cost theorem problem. So here the question is we are given a polluter, the marginal benefit curve and marginal abatement cost curve, and we are given that the property right is with the victim. So based on cost theorem, the assumption, primary assumption of cost theorem is that there is no transaction cost. So the cost theorem holds true since the transaction cost is zero. So here the first question is, what is the level of pollution abatement? So the in case of pre-negotiation, when there is no negotiation between the victim and the polluter, what will be the level of pollution? And then post-negotiation, what will be the level of pollution? So please answer me for both the cases. So this is the graph which is given. So based on it, what will be the level of pollution, optimum level of pollution abatement? Or we can say that what is the level of pollution, till what point will the pollution will happen? When there is no negotiation and when there is negotiation between the victim and the when there is victim and the polluter. So if you understand the cost theorem, then you can answer this question. So I'll wait for this answer. So you have to tell the level of pollution after negotiation and before negotiation. Anyone? You can put in the chat box also. Paul, if you understand the cost theorem, maybe you can answer this.
Yes, ma'am. Pre-negotiation,
Yes, pre-negotiation.
pre-negotiation will be the answer. No?
No, no. This is not in both the cases, you have to tell the answer that what will be the level of pollution, not abatement. What will be the level of pollution when there is no negotiation between the polluter and victim? Then what will be the pollution? Like how much the pollution will happen? So no negotiation between the polluter and
Be
pollutee.
zero. It will be zero. No?
Yes. So in first case, when there is no negotiation between the polluter and pollutee, the victim have the right, right? So the victim do not want anyone to pollute the environment. So in pre-negotiation case, the level of pollution will be zero. Now in post-negotiation case, maybe the other participant can answer if in post negotiation, and let's say now there is negotiation between the victim and the polluter, then what will be the level of pollution?
It depends upon how much pollution is done by the polluter.
Yes, but optimum pollution level they will come across, right? So based on cost theorem, we said that when there is negotiation between the polluter and pollutee, they will come at the optimum level of pollution. So what will be that value, the optimum level of pollution after negotiation?
After negotiation, it will come zero only, no?
No, before negotiation it will be zero.
Polluter
Okay.
will get some incentives.
Mm-hmm. So
Polluter will get some incentive from polluter, no? So that
yes, but there will be pollution. It's not like uh, after negotiation there will be pollution. However, the optimum level of pollution we have discussed, like let's say I'll tell it one more time. We said now the property right is with the victim, right? So initially there will be no pollution. Okay, so this is the point. Let's say O is the point where there is no no emission. Okay, but let's say that the marginal benefit for the polluter is very high. Okay, at point, let's say I am drawing a point here. Here, the marginal benefit of the for the polluter is very high, but marginal cost of abatement is this much only, right? So I'm writing point P1 and point P2. Okay, so P1 is the benefit point and P2 is the P2 is the cost of abatement. Okay, so what the polluter will do? Polluter will say, "I'll give you certain money. Please let me pollute." Right. So the negotiation will be that there will be a pollution. Okay. So till what point the polluter will give the pollutee some amount of compensation? So till this point K. I'm writing till the point K or till the point K, there will be negotiation between the polluter and pollutee. Okay, did I make it clear? Because the polluter is
yes,
getting,
ma'am.
yeah, because the polluter is getting very much benefit, he will be ready to pay the certain amount to the pollutee, right, to the victim. Am I clear? So till the K point, there will be production. Okay. So till K, there will be production, and the certain value of compensation will be given to the pollutee. So total compensation will be this area. Okay. Total compensation will be this area. However, this area is going into the investment or going for the abatement, right? I have to invest this again for the abatement. So this area is nothing but the abatement compensation which I get. However, this area is the positive benefit to the victim. Am I clear? Am I clear? So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so this much like x0 to x2 will be the level of pollution. Am I clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the second answer will be this one, X2. For post negotiation, X2 will be the level of pollution. I hope I'm clear. Right. So this is how course
Yes,
theorem
ma'am.
said. So if there is no negotiation, then why there is negotiation? First of all, our objective is to maximize the social benefit, right? So initially, when there is no pollution at all, maximize social benefit. When there is no pollution at all, then the social benefit will be zero in one case. However, in two cases, there will be certain social benefit which is represented by this area. Am I clear? Therefore, the negotiation is important. Okay, now we will move towards the second question. Okay, now in this case, the uh, property right is initially given to the polluter. Okay, property right is given initially to the polluter. Now, what will be the level of pollution pre-negotiation and post-negotiation? Yes. Is the question clear? Now, in this case, the property right is with the polluter. So, what the polluter will do? It will try to maximize its own profit, right? So, Paul, do you understand? What will be the value of pollution this in this case? Initially, when there is no negotiation. We have, yes, we have, okay, hello everyone, one more time. So we are discussing some question on cost theorem, okay. So, so we have just started. So any one of you can answer. Neha,
Yes, ma'am.
what will be this answer? Like now here in this case, we are discussing about the cost theorem only, okay. So here in the okay, in this, the victim's marginal abatement cost curve is given and marginal benefit curve for the polluter is given, and we have to find the optimum level of pollution. Okay, sorry, not optimum level of pollution. We have to say level of pollution. So if there is no negotiation between the polluter and pollutee, then what will be the case? And in the second case, if there is negotiation, then what will be the value of pollution? Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anjana, do you understand the question? Anjana? Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Do you understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the answer for one case, case one, when there is no
Without
negotiation?
without
Sorry?
negotiation, without negotiation, x0 to x maximum is the
Oh,
pollution level,
okay.
and after negotiation,
Mm-hmm.
x0 to x2 is
X0 to X2. Right.
x2.
Yes. So, one more time we will discuss it here. In this case, the polluter have right. Okay, the polluter have right to pollute because it's his property. What he will do, he will pollute till the point where his marginal benefit of production MB is equal to 0. Till this point, he will pollute in the case 1 when there is no negotiation. Okay, am I clear? Therefore, the level of pollution in pre-negotiation case will be X max. That is X0 to X max will be the value. Is it clear? Now, there is negotiation between, so this is for case 1. Now there is negotiation between the polluter and the victim. Okay, so what the victim will say here, let's say that if you are polluting till this point, I have to incur the cost of this much, right? This is my cost of abatement. Am I clear? So I request him, since my marginal cost of abatement is very high, I will be ready to pay you some bribe. So this much bribe I will pay you. Okay, don't pollute. So there will be negotiation between the polluter and the victim. So till this point where marginal abatement cost curve MAC is more than bribery value, which the there will be negotiation. Okay, that there will be no production. So till this point, this much abatement will be done. So the level of pollution will be till x2 only. Am I clear? Neha, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is about the cost theorem. Okay, now if I ask you, what will be the net benefit? What will be the net benefit for the victim? What will be the net benefit of victim after negotiation? So he negotiated, right? So what will be the benefit, or I must say cost saving? Cost saving for victim. What will be this value? You have to tell area. So what will be this area? So the property right is given to the polluter and victim negotiated. After negotiation, certain cost saving will be there. So what will be this value of cost saving? What will be this area? Uh, anyone? Yes, I'll ask. Seema, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you please try this question, which I said that what will be the benefit or cost saving to the victim? So how the benefit you will calculate, like after negotiation? You can try it. You can be wrong also, but I'll be happy if I get some answer from you. Okay. Anyone else who want to try? You have to tell me the area. Like let's say that if it is Z area, you have to say Z area and W area, or anyone like X area and U area or anything else. So yes,
Ma'am, Z or W?
Z or W benefit for cost saving for the victim.
Y will.
Z or W will be the wrong answer. You can try it one more time. The property
Y
right,
V.
the sorry,
Y V.
YB. No. Here the property right is given to the polluter. Okay. So initially, what did I say?
Polluter.
Initially, this much level of pollution is done, right? Initially, till X max pollution is done. Okay. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the victim have to clean all this. So the cost incurred by the victim is this whole area. Okay. Am I clear? Pre-negotiation case. Okay. If there is no negotiation, then this whole area will be the cost for pollutee or the victim. However, when I have when I have certain negotiation, then only production will be till this point. Okay. Post negotiation, production will be till x2, right? So this much level of abatement is needed. What? Abatement cost. Am I right? This is the abatement cost. Okay. Now, this much level I have to give as a bribery, bribe to con, to polluter. Okay, am I clear? Since the polluter is not polluting, from here to here they reduce the emission. I have to pay bribe to the polluter. Am I right? Now what will be the cost saving? Like cost saving from pre-negotiation to post-negotiation will be, yes, anyone else? Anyone can try this. Paul, maybe you can try this.
RQ.
Yes. So I told you, right? This uh, RQ will be the right answer. So I'll draw the pre-negotiation case. This will be the whole area. Okay, pre-negotiation. Now, post-negotiation, I have to pay only this area, right? Post-negotiation, I will draw it one more time. Post-negotiation, I have to pay this area only. Am I clear? Post-negotiation. Now, which area do I get? I get this area. This will be the cost saving. Am I clear? Anyone have any question? Please ask me. Neha, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now I will move to the previous part. Okay. Now let's say that in this case, what will be the cost saving? Then can you answer this? Uh, Anyone can try this. So here the property right is with the victim, right? So what will be the cost saving or the benefit after negotiation? I'm asking cost saving or it might be benefit, right? Benefit. What will be this value? In this case, when the property right is with the victim, the initially pollution is zero, right? Pollution is equals to zero for pre-negotiation case. Okay. Now post-negotiation. Post-negotiation pollution is equals to x2. Till x2 there will be a pollution, right? So what is the cost of abatement? This area will be my cost for abatement. Am I clear? Now I'm asking anyone, what will be the compensation with which the polluter will give to the victim? How much compensation will the polluter give? How much compensation will the polluter give to the victim in this case? Anyone? Okay. So the compensation will be given this much value. So this whole area of compensation, will be given by compensation by compensation by polluter to the victim. Okay, so what is the extra benefit which the victim is getting? Anyone? After negotiation, what would be the extra benefit which the uh, victim is getting? Which area? Yes. Anyone? Seema,
Yes, ma'am.
what will be the answer for this? Cost or benefit after negotiation in this case?
ZW.
ZW. Mm, no, that will be benefit for the polluter, right? That will be the benefit for polluter. Why? Because initially the polluter do not, when there is no negotiation, the polluter do not produce at all. However, when there is negotiation, the polluter produce certain amount, and this will be the net amount after subtracting the compensation amount. This will be the benefit or benefit to polluter. Okay. Now, what will be the benefit to pollutee? Anyone? Please try.
On the area YV,
Area Y and area
E.
V, right? You said V?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the benefit or cost saving will be area Y and V for the pollute pollutee or the victim. Okay. The victim get extra money, area Y plus V. Okay. This is for polluter and this is for pollutee. Pollutee will be Y plus V and polluter get extra benefit of Z plus W. Am I clear? Anyone have any question? Please ask. Uh, okay, I'm hoping that everyone uh, gets to know the. Okay, now in the second case, the polluter have rights. Okay, so why the polluter will be ready to do the negotiation? Do the polluter gets extra money? Do the polluter gets extra benefit? So anyone can try the question in the second case. Okay, benefit to polluter after negotiation. Please try to answer this question. Anyone?
Ma'am, the area ZW.
That will be in the previous case. That will be in the previous case when the victim have property right. Okay. When the victim have property right, the area ZW will be the benefit for the polluter. Now we are going towards the second case when sorry when in this case the victim have property right. However, the second case the polluter have property right. Okay, this the polluter have property right. Now tell me what will be the benefit to the polluter after negotiation. Anyway, polluter have the property, so why will he want to go for negotiation? Because he must be having some profit, right? So anyone? Okay. Now, initially, what did I say? Since the polluter have right to pollute or a right to the property, till X max, the polluter will produce some good. Okay. So this will be the production pre-negotiation case. Okay. in case 1. However, when there is negotiation, till this point only the production will be done. So this will be the benefit out of production. Production benefit, right? However, since the bribery is given, so this area is the bribery. This much of bribery is given. So extra area will be area S and area P. So after negotiation, S plus P area will be the extra benefit. Am I clear? Initially, the red area is the benefit to the polluter. However, when there is negotiation, extra S plus P area will be there, which it gets by bribery. So that is why X plus P, a whole area X P T Q will be, this purple area will be the bribery. However, since it reduced its production, this area will be for the compensation of reducing production. However, S plus P area will be the extra benefit. Am I clear? Anyone have any question? Please try to answer, try to ask. Neha, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Paul, is it clear? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we will move towards the so no negotiation, X max will be the so we are answering the previous question only, and if there's negotiation, X2 will be the optimum level of pollution. Okay, now since you know the cost theorem, you should know what will be the what will be the optimum level of pollution which a meat packing plant will do to the spring water producer. What will be the optimum level of pollution? That will be X star, right? So it doesn't matter whether the property right is with meat packing plants or with spring water plants. The optimum level of pollution is same. Okay, am I clear? So this is a initial like generalized answer question which I asked. So you can try to plot the cost theorem as this, and then you can get the area of benefits in both the case when property right is with the meat packing plant or with the spring water production plant. So here what we are saying is that there is a two plant A and plant B. So there is a river going by. So river or somewhere. So the spring water producer plant produce certain amount of water out of river. However, the meat packing plant is polluting the river. So then there will be negotiation between A and B. So in this case, the cost theorem you can apply and try to draw the optimum level of pollution and benefits for both the companies. Am I clear? Okay, now we will move towards the limitations of cost theorem. Okay, so we in cost theorem we have proposed that if the transaction cost is zero and the property right is well defined, then the optimum level of pollution will be obtained without government's interventions. Okay, now what are the uh, cases or what are the limitations of this theorem? So first of all, the assignment problem. So the cost theorem assumes that the property right is well defined. However, like in the case of global warming or in the case of air pollution, then the property right cannot be well defined. So in this case, then the cost theorem will not hold true. However, cost theorem can be hold true for small localized externalities case. However, it will not be applicable for large, more global externalities such as global warming or CO2 level pollution. So in these cases, the cost theorem will not be hold true. So that will be the first issue, that the property right cannot be always assigned. So the second problem with the cost theorem is, let's say that there is a property which have joint owners. then in this case there will be a problem because we have to negotiate with all the owner which are holding the rights. So here also there will be the issue of getting to the optimum level of pollution. So that will be the second limitation. Now, in the third limitation, what we have said is that here, let's say that uh, the problem is reducing CO2. Okay, CO2 reduction. So, who will be benefited out of CO2 reduction? Let's say that India is reducing CO2, then who are the countries or who will be benefiting out of this? So the benefit will be enjoyed by whole countries such as Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, or any other country because this is global kind of pollutants, right? However, the cost is only incurred by India. So in this cases, when the personal cost is being levied and the benefit is for whole individuals, then the cost theorem cannot be hold true. After that, the biggest assumption is that there is no transaction cost, right? So cost theorem assume that there is no transaction cost, and however, in real cases, there are very few cases where the transaction cost is zero. Many a times there is always a transaction cost. So the Cozen approach ignores the fundamental problem that is hard to negotiation when there is large number of individuals where the transaction cost cannot be zero. So that these are the four major limitations of cost theorem. So any question from this slides? Or shall I move on? Okay. Uh, anyone have any question, please ask me. Otherwise, I'll move towards the next part of the slide. So now if we summarize cost theorem, so cost theorem is not applicable in many of the cases where the environmental problem is global issue rather than local issue, or where there is transaction cost, where there is more than one owner involved, right? So the indirectly cost theorem is giving us the importance of transaction cost. Okay, so transaction cost is important, and the government can play a role in facilitating the transaction between the individuals or between the firms, right? Let's say that there is a, okay. Yes, please ask your question, Divya. Yes, you can ask your question. Hello. Okay, I'll continue. The government can play an important role as an intermediator. Let's say that there is land acquirement by a firm. Okay, so there is a big company who needs land from the farmers. So he cannot go to all the farmers and negotiate, right? So in that case, the transaction cost will be very high. However, if a government plays as an intermediator and then help the farm to acquire the land, then it will be easier. So we can say that cost does not undermine the government's role. However, it emphasizes the importance of government's role in the optimum emission bargaining. So the role of government can be in assigning the property right and facilitating the negotiation between the polluter and pollutee. So anyone have any question? You can unmute yourself and ask, or you can ask in the chat box. Okay, shall I move to the next part? Or you have any question from the initial slides to the end, you can ask me. Yes. Okay. Now we will move towards the incentive design. So incentive can be of reward type or punishment type. So initial question is why incentive is needed, right? So the objective to design certain incentive is to correct the market failure. Since the market fails because of improper price signaling or because of externality, the incentives are designed in such a way to internalize the externality, to correct the market failure, and to achieve the socially optimum level of pollution. So the level of pollution cannot be zero. However, optimum level of pollution needs to be achieved so as to get the optimality uh, in the society. So the social welfare needs to be maximized. So the third part is that incentives are designed in such a way that we induce or motivate the economic agents to behave in specific way. So we encourage them to invest in the cleaner technology. We encourage them to invest in the renewable energy sources, or we discourage them from emitting pollution by levying emission tax or by setting certain environmental standards. So, incentive is a price signal which the economic agents receive. In response to this price signal, the certain behavior will be happening, right? So let's say that I'm getting subsidy for certain technology, then I will choose to adopt that technology, right? So in reward or subsidy way, the incentive can uh, help in adopting the clean technology, encourage the firms to protect the environment, or to go towards the cleaner production. However, incentive can also be in the form of punishment for environmental degradation, such as emission tax. So, the initial assumption of incentive design is the rational people's response to incentive. That is, rational people will be selfish. So, they will try to maximize their profit. So, if I have to uh, give the emission tax, then I will optimize my level of production so as to maximize my own profit. So when there is no emission tax, I will try to produce more. However, when there is application of emission tax, then the firm will try to reduce its emission. So this is one of the example of uh, rational people's behavior. So the people will, the person or the economic agent will try to maximize its own benefit. So I hope this is clear. Anyone have any question? Please unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, so the question is, why is incentive required? Incentive is required because there is conflict between private and social interest. So when there is no externality, then the maximization of private welfare will maximize the social welfare. However, since there is market failure, since there is improper price signal and externality, the when a private firm tries to maximize its benefit, the social welfare is not maximizing. So the social well-being is not maximized. So in such cases, there is a conflict, or there is a need for incentive, or for certain regulation. So incentives are given to align the private objective and social objective. So so uh, so as to align these two objectives, we are imposing certain incentive schemes. So incentive imposed give cost to environmental shirking or environmental degradation. Let's say that there is a steel producing firm. When the firm do not have to give tax to the government, then they will produce maximum number of steel, right? But when they have to give certain level of tax to the government because they are emitting the pollution, let's say CO2 or any other pollutants, then they will try to reduce their production so as to uh, get to a optimum level of production. So profit making firm has no incentive to abate pollution in the case when there is no tax. However, when we levy some tax, they will go for pollution abatement, and the cost of pollution abatement will be incurred by firm. When there is no tax, then if the CO2 level in the air goes up, then the government might have to go for certain measures to reduce the emission. However, the firm will try to reduce its emission because they have to pay tax otherwise. So, therefore, we need incentive. The second one is the consumer. Let's say that if I am a consumer and I'm getting two product, one with higher cost and second with lower cost. So I will always choose lower cost of production when my budget is tight, right? However, the lower cost product might be produced with higher environmental degradation, or they might not be environmentally friendly. So in these cases, the to pay for the externality, the consumer is also not paying, the incentive are needed. So these are the introduction. So next one is why a particular, we have discussed, right, that if India is investing on CO2 reduction, the benefit will be enjoyed by all the countries. So why a particular country will abate pollution? So uh, the cost is incurred by one country and benefit will be enjoyed by all the countries. So there is requirement of global negotiation so as to incentivize the nations in abating the pollution. So this agreement is done through Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, or through green finance for uh, reducing the environmental degradation, for incentivizing the adoption of clean technology. So if there is global negotiation that all the country decided to reduce certain level of pollution, certain level of CO2 emission intensity, then only the objective of global reduction of global warming rate or reduction of CO2 in the air, this can be achieved. So the collective work towards correcting emission and controlling the global warming is needed when the problem is global. So now, without pollution control, there will be overproduction, exploitation of environment, overconsumption by consumer. So there is no concern on the externality. The firm will try to maximize its own profit, and social damage and social cost will be ignored, right? However, when we impose certain pollution control, then let's say that we have imposed the tax, then externality will be considered into the business cost. So the firm or the consumer is paying for the environmental shocking cost. Next, emission tax also help the polluting firm in internalizing the externality. So by consideration of the externality, a firm is imposing the cost of firm is uh, achieved. So the business cost include the cost of externality also. So I hope this is clear. Any question, then you can ask in between. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Uh, if you have any question, you can ask in the chat box also. Okay, now we will go towards the next slide. Here, let's say that this is marginal cost of production and this is the marginal benefit curve. Okay, so let's say that we have pollution control through emission tax scheme. Okay, so the emission tax, this will be my tax value, right? So when marginal cost is more than tax amount, abate pollution. Marginal cost of abatement is more than tax amount. The firm will choose to abate pollution. However, when marginal cost is less than tax amount, the firm will choose to pay tax. So, till X star, the firm will choose to pay, choose to abate emissions. So, this curve will be the one. After that, the firm will choose to pay tax. Okay, so now what will be the private optima? Private optima will be T is equals to MC and social optima will be MB is equals to MC. Okay, so the optimality value which we achieved will be T is equals to MB is equals to MC. So at MB is equals to MC, this level of tax needs to be levied for environmental degradation or for emissions. So initially the firm will go towards the emission control, abatement, and then after that they will choose to pay tax. And the optimality is achieved when the social optima and private optima converges. That is T is equals to MB is equals to MC. MB is the marginal benefit of pollution control, MC is the marginal cost of pollution control, and T is the tax amount. So I hope this is clear. And now why there is optimum level of tax is needed. So too much of pollution control and too less of pollution control both are undesirable because this will impact the total social welfare, right? So when you do too less of pollution control, then the cost of externality will be incurred by society, right? So that's why this is not desirable. However, when there is too much of pollution control, then the cost of pollution control when the cost of pollution control increases, the firm will try to bypass some of the cost to the consumer. So in a way, the consumer have to pay for the uh, pollution control cost. So the elastic consumer or a consumer which have more response uh, uh, in response towards the price. So for them, they cannot bypass much. However, for inelastic consumer, so the consumer do not respond with respect to the change in price. For them, more bypass of the pollution control cost will be done towards the consumers. So therefore, optimum level of emission tax is needed. So if you have any question, you can ask me in between. Any question? Seema, any question?
No, any.
Is it clear?
I haven't understood about that elastic and inelastic.
Okay. Elastic and inelastic is a economic concept actually. That let's say that the cost of one Coke is 40 rupees. Okay, and the Coke of Pepsi is 40 rupees. If I decided to increase the cost of 1 liter of Coke to 45 rupees, then what will you do? Maybe you will go towards Pepsi, right? Because the Coke price is increasing. So the elasticity is measured by dq by dp. So when price increases, what will be the change in quantity? Okay, when dq by dp is high means higher level of with smaller change in price, the change in quantity will be higher. Okay, so from 40 to 45 rupees, I increase the price. Then I will choose to drink only, let's say, 3 bottles. Initially, I am drinking 5 bottles. Okay, so my consumption is decreasing, right? So this is called elasticity, change in price versus change in quantity. So more elastic means that let's say that the Coke company increase the price, then I'll choose to go towards other products. So the uh, company cannot give much of the price signal because of the cost they have to incur for pollution control. So there will be lesser bypass of cost towards the consumer. However, I don't have choice other than Coke. Let's say that there is no other drink at all in this, like, and then I have to drink Coke at all. Then from 40 to 45, the company will increase very easily, right? Because they don't have to care that anyway you'll drink from me. So I'll increase my price when I have to go towards the pollution control. I'll pass my cost towards the consumers. So this is the concept. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any more question? Ishwari, are you there? Okay. Saudarshini.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Am I clear? Any question you have?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll continue with the concept. So we are talking about the incentive design in which the emission tax is being levied. Okay, so now we will try to look into two cases. Let's say that firms private profit maximization. If a firm try to maximize its profit without considering the externality which the firm is incurring towards the environment, then their profit function looks like this, right? Where pi is my profit, which will be P into Q. P will be my price of output, Q will be the level of output, and then the CQ, that will be my cost function, right? So if I subtract uh, my revenue from the cost, then I will get my profit. Is it clear? Now, if I have to maximize this function, then I will differentiate this with the Q, so that I'll get optimum level of Q, that is Q star. So Q star will be the optimum production of quantity so as my profit is maximized. Okay, here we can say that marginal revenue means differentiating this term, uh, that is P which we get, and marginal cost, that is C dash Q. Differentiate cost with respect to Q will be equal to 0, right? From here we get this, after that we get this. Price will be equal to marginal cost of production. So here when there is no tax, optimum production is Q star, which is calculated based on the private cost of production without consideration of externalities. Is it clear? Okay, now we will move towards the second case when the externalities which a firm costs will be included in its profit function. Then the environmental degradation function or damage function, right? Damage function have to be included or have to be excluded from its profit because they are damaging the environment for which the cost have to be incurred, right? So in this case, then the profit function looks like this one. And if you differentiate with respect to Q, then you get P is equals to, if you differentiate with respect to Q and equate it towards the 0, then what you get? P is equals to C dash Q and beta times D dash Q. Okay, dash means differentiation. Okay, now what we get, price is equals to marginal cost, that is C dash Q, plus MSC. MSC is our marginal social cost, which will be given by beta times dq. So this is my marginal social cost. In this case, marginal social cost is also included in the price function. Okay, now the question is, how much tax do I need to impose to the firm? So then we say that, let's say that pi is equals to p into q minus the cost minus the tax which the firm will have to pay. Then T is my tax per unit production, and Q is the optimum level of, so Q is the level of production. Now what we get is P, if you differentiate, then we get P is equals to C dash Q times T. So from equation 1 and equation 2 we get the level of T, that is beta times Q, which is equals to marginal social cost. This means that the tax should be equal to the marginal social cost. Is it clear? Anyone have any question? From here, we from private profit maximization, we try to internalize the externalities into the profit function, and then we try to differentiate it, and then we try to get the value of tax amount which needs to be levied. So that will be equal to the value of marginal social cost. Anyone have any question? Paul, do you have any question?
No, no.
Okay, Divya, Anjana,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anjana,
Yes, ma'am.
any question? Are you able to get what I'm trying to say? Any question in the slides?
Emission coefficient. Please
Sorry,
understand.
sorry,
Emission coefficient.
I'm not able to get you. Which coefficient? Emission coefficient. Okay,
Emission.
yeah, okay. Oh, this beta, right? Okay, emission coefficient is like let's say that to produce let's say here in this case, if we are taking a steel company, okay, steel company, then to produce 1 kg of steel, what will be the CO2 emission? So beta will be CO2 emission per kg of steel production. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So for each unit of production, what is the level of emission? So it can be CO2 or it can be any other pollutant. However, in general, it's like pollution per unit production. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Any question? Okay, now we will move towards the next part. So now we will talk about the Pigovian tax. Okay. So we said that the tax internalize the externality by reducing the production. So how is it done? Let's say if there is, now I'll try to draw it one more time so that this is my marginal cost curve, okay, MC curve, right? And this is my, sorry, this is my MC curve and this is my MB curve, marginal benefit curve. So if there is no consideration of externality, then this is my optimal price and this is my optimal quantity. Is it clear? right? So, however, this MC will be our private marginal cost. However, we have to consider the marginal damage which I am doing, which a firm is doing on the environment. So, this marginal damage, when we include in the marginal cost curve, then we get social marginal cost, that is the red line. So, social marginal cost will be private marginal cost plus marginal damage. Is it clear? Now we talked about first this one, and then we talked about blue line, that is private marginal cost. After that, when we consider marginal damage, then the marginal cost curve will go up. So we get private marginal cost. So initially, when we are equating the private marginal cost and the marginal benefit, that is both the blue line, then we get quantity Q1, optimal quantity Q1 without internalizing the externalities. However, when we have to consider the marginal damage caused by the firm to the society or to the environment, then we get to the level of Q2. Q2 is less than Q1, and subtraction of Q1 and Q2 will get the overproduction value which the firm will do if there is no incentive scheme, or if there is no environmental regulation, then overproduction will be there because they don't have to pay for the environmental degradation or environmental damage. So without tax there will be overproduction, the value of production will be Q1 and overproduction value will be Q1 minus Q2. Is it clear? And marginal cost goes up when the production level goes down. Any question? Can I move on? Anyone have any question? Please try to ask. Okay, now I'll move towards the next part. Now let's say that this is for the producer, right? Or this is for the firm who is producing certain goods. Now let's say that we have to find the marginal benefit curve for the consumer. Let's say initially your demand curve is this blue line without consideration of environmental degradation. So this is no tax case, or no marginal damage is being considered. However, when you have to consider this marginal damage, then your marginal benefit curves goes down because you have to subtract the marginal damage from private marginal benefit. So what you get? You get social marginal benefit, that is SMP. Okay. Now initially when there is no tax, then the level of production level of consumption is Q1. However, because of consideration of marginal damage into the marginal cost curve, we get the level of consumption as Q2. So if we subtract Q1 and Q2, then you get the level of overconsumption which a person do because of not consideration of externality into their uh, price. Or if I don't have to pay for the environmental degradation, I will consume more. However, if I have to pay for the environmental degradation, then I will consume lesser. So, any question? Anyone have any question? You can ask me. Okay, now I will move towards the next slide. So these are the examples of equivalent tax. Let's say that you have to pay taxes on gas, or you have to pay some fees on garbage disposal, or if a company is polluting water, then uh, if they have to pay the pollution tax, which is in the European country cases, then this level of taxes can be known as piggyback tax. Okay, so these are various examples of piggyback tax. Now we will try to connect the Gauss theorem and Pigouin theorem. Gauss theorem says we have to assign the property right. It can be with the polluter or pollutee, it doesn't matter. Initial assignment of pollution right can be either of both the cases of polluter and pollutee. However, However, the Pigovian taxation, uh, in this case, the property right is given to the pollutee or the society. Okay, so the tax is imposed on the polluter for the pollution, and they have to pay the tax for environmental degradation, for polluting the air, for polluting the water. So whichever case is applicable, so they have to pay certain level of tax. So this principle is known as polluter pay principle. So Gauss theorem is special case, sorry, Pygobin theorem is special case of Gauss theorem in which the polluter pay principle is applicable. So broadly, it's a Gauss theorem, but here the property right is given to the pollutee, and the government is playing on the behalf of society. They impose tax on pollution, and tax is collected for the cleaning purposes or for the pollution abatement or pollution abatement. Anyone have any question? Please ask me. Now I will move towards a question. Okay, so let's say that there is an electricity market in which the demand curve is given as Q is equals to 50 minus P, and marginal private cost curve is given as $10 per megawatt hour of production. And let's say that environmental damage function or environmental damage is given as $15 per megawatt hour of generation, electricity generation. Then, first of all, let's say this is not unregulated. Like, let's say that if there is no tax, if there is no tax market, then what will be the what will be the price and what will be the quantity? How much quantity? P and Q. You have to find the value of P and Q. Okay, next one is what is the optimal production and price taking into account the externalities. So you have two questions. So initially, when there is no consideration of externality, what will be the level of production? And when you consider the externality, then what will be the level of production and the price? So yes, I will start with the A part where we have to find P and Q, price and quantity. So how to start? Like Neha, are you there? If we don't have Neha, let's say that can anyone tell me how the demand curve look like? How will the demand curve be? The demand function is given as 50 minus P, right? So if I have to draw the demand curve, so what will be the how will that look like? Anyone?
Downward sloping.
Yes, and what will be the, it will be downward sloping, that is true. Okay, now demand curve equation is given by uh, demand curve equation is given by 50 minus P. Okay, so the demand curve will be as Okay, I have to use one more screen. Please excuse me. Okay, so the demand curve will be Q is equals to 50 minus P, right? So it will be downward sloping, and what will be the point in which the intersection will happen? What will be A point? Let's say I write A, then what will be the value of A and what will be the value of B? Point A and point B. So when quantity is 0, price will be 50. Am I clear? And when price is 0, quantity will be 50. Is it clear? And this is demand curve. Am I clear? Anyone? Now, how will be the supply curve? How does the supply curve looks like? In this case, marginal marginal cost of production is given $10. So $10 per unit of production. So how does the supply curves looks like? Supply curve look like? Anyone? MC is given this. So how will it be? Yes, you can answer.
Supply of upwards looking.
Somewhere upward sloping,
Yes, ma'am.
but the marginal cost is not the function of quantity, right? It will be given constant number, that is 10. So how will it be? Will it be upward sloping or will it be parallel to some axis?
X axis.
It will be parallel to x-axis. You're correct, right? So we are saying that how much you produce. For additional unit, you have to only pay $10 per unit of production. Okay. So I will change the color to this one. This is my marginal cost curve. Okay. Now, third case. What is my marginal damage which you are doing to the environment? Marginal damage is given as $15 per unit, right? Am I clear? So, how will be the marginal damage? Like, how will be the social marginal cost? This is private marginal cost, PMC, right? Now, my social marginal cost will be anyone? What will be the social marginal cost? Social marginal cost is equal to private marginal cost plus marginal damage function, right? So it will be $25. Am I clear? So let's say that I'm writing 10 here, I'm writing 25 here. So this will be my social marginal cost. Am I clear? Now tell me what is the in case 1 and in case 2. In case 1, what is optimum level of P star and Q star? And in case 2, what is the level of P star and Q star? Yes, Archana, please try to answer it. I'll wait. You can put in the chat box. Sorry, Anjana, what will be
Yes,
the
ma'am.
answer? What will be the answer for first case? What will be the price? Like, what will be the price when you don't have to pay for the marginal damage?
Ma'am, 10.
Yes, the price will be 10, right?
Yeah.
And what will be the quantity which will be produced? In case 1, you are correct. P is given by P star is equals to $10 per unit. And what will be the Q star? What is the equation for Q? Q is given by 50 minus P, right? So what will be the value of Q star?
40.
Yes. So in this case, the when there is no environmental, so this will be my Q1 star, which is equals to 40, and this is my P star, that is $10, right? Am I clear? Anyone have any question? Please try to ask. Okay, now in case 2, now I'm writing here. So case 2. In case 2, when you have to pay for the marginal damage, MD also paid. MD is paid or externality is internalized. Then what is the value of Q star and P star? Yes, P star, the value of P star will be?
Ma'am, 25.
Yes, and the value of Q star will be?
25.
Yes. Is it clear? Anyone?
Yes.
25 units, $25 per unit. So this is for the second case. Okay. So when you have to pay for both the marginal damage, then you will reduce the quantity from 40 towards the 25. This is my Q2 star and this is my price, that is 25. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone have any question? Please try to ask. Then I'll move towards the next part. So we have another 20 minutes. So I'll move to the next part. So here we have given MC curve, MC plus MD curve. So price will be initially when there is uh, unregulated environmental degradation, then marginal cost will be 10, and for finding Q we will equate MQ, MB and MC, so we get 40. So this is for the case 1. So here we get 40, right? Now next part, when we have to pay for the externalities, then we get Q2 equal to 25. Okay. Now in both the case, okay, in case 1, what will be the consumer surplus? In this case, what will be the consumer surplus? Anyone? Area, you have to show me the area, like let's say that area, let's say AYW or any area like. So what will be the consumer surplus? Yes, consumer surplus is given by the subtraction of demand curve and actual price. Like let's say that at this point I am willing to pay rupees, let's say that 48. I'm willing to pay rupees 48 also, but I'm getting at price 10 rupees. So from here to here, this is my surplus value. Similarly, let's say that at this point, I am willing to pay this much value. I am assuming, let's say this as 37, let's say. Okay, here we have 37. Then I'm getting at 10. So this is my surplus value. So if you add all these points, till the point here at A, like for case 1 we are doing. So this will be my consumer surplus. Is it clear? For case 1. Anyone have any question? This area will be my, right? Any question? Okay, now let's say, now I have to find this is my consumer surplus. Now in this case, if I have to find the social surplus, what will be my social surplus? Yes, what will be my social surplus? Paul, maybe you can try this, or anyone? Anyone else? Seema, what will be the value of social surplus? I told that area A, Y, Z is my consumer surplus. Now, what will be my social surplus? So, the answer here is, to find social surplus, uh, we have to, we are talking about this society, right? So, even though the consumer surplus is high, the society have to pay this much value. What? Pay for environmental damage. The society have to pay for the environmental damage, right? So, from social surplus, we are subtracting consumer surplus minus damage. So now what will be the area? Paul, what will be the area? Consumer surplus area. Uh, Anjana?
Ma'am, ZW.
Yes. So now my social surplus will be lesser than consumer surplus because I have to pay. This is my social surplus because I have to pay for the environmental degradation, because the society have to pay for the environmental degradation. Okay, is it clear? Okay, for case 1 we have already decided. Now in case 2, what will be my consumer surplus? In this case, the optimal production is this, right? And price is this. So my my consumer surplus will be this much. Is it clear? Because this is my price. 25 is my price, right? So in this case, consumer surplus will be equal to social surplus. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I will tell you a concept which is known as debt weight loss. So if so this area will be the debt weight loss. So debt weight loss is the area which the society is losing, or uh, which the society have to incur the cost in the case when the externality is not included in the taxation, or in the profit maximization. If the externalities are not included, then the society have to pay higher level. So this level of this value or this sum of value can be known as debt weight loss. So if we have if a firm have to pay for externality, then there will not be debt weight loss. However, if the society have to pay for the environmental damages, then the debt weight loss can be given by this area. So I think I'm clear with this concept. Any question? Uh, shall I move to the next part? Okay, we have 10 more minutes. So any question? Okay, now we will move to the next part. So we are going to do this question and then we will end the session of today's. Okay, so here we are given a firm. So they are furniture firm. So they are producing certain chemical waste which is put into the runoff river. Okay, there is a farm who there's a uh, wooden manufacture plant or farm, and they pollute the river. So the fishing site for the local is being polluted. So the various technology are there to reduce the chemical production or to reduce the pollution. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to the cost of this technology, like the cost of technology, the cost function is given by C1 is equals to 20 A square, and A is the level of pollution abatement. So if the firm have to reduce the pollution, reduce the chemical pollution into the river, then they have to incur the cost which is given by C1 A is equals to 20 A square, where A is the level of pollution. With increase in level of pollution abatement, sorry, A is the level of pollution abatement, not level of pollution. So with increase in level of pollution abatement, the cost will go up, right? Now, first I'm asking what will be the private marginal cost, how the curve will look like, what will be the private marginal cost in this case. Marginal cost for abatement of pollution. So anyone, please try this question. The cost function is given. However, the marginal cost value is, the marginal cost is asked. What will be the equation for marginal cost curve? Yes. Seema? Uh, I, I am not able to. What's your name? Shovadarshini.
Yes, Mama.
What will be the equation for marginal abatement cost curve for private marginal cost curve? How how the marginal cost curve look like? Increasing or decreasing? Hmm?
Increasing.
Increasing, right? Upward sloping. So anyway, it have to look like this, right? But the cost equation is given C1 A equal to 20A square. This is the cost. Now, when you have to find the marginal cost, MC curve, you have to differentiate this C1A with respect to, you have to differentiate this C1A with respect to A. Now, what will be the value? What will be the equation of MC?
Ma'am, 40A.
Yes, the equation will be 40A. So when A is 0, it will be 0. And does it look like this? 40A, right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Private marginal cost curve. Now, what will be the private marginal benefit curve? So, what will be the benefit which the firm will incur for abatement of pollution? So, if it is my production plant, okay. So, if I abate the pollution, what will be the benefit which I am getting for the firm, for the polluter? Paul, can you answer this? Second one, Seema, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the second part answer? Private marginal benefit. You can try, or you can tell me what will be the social marginal cost curve. So what will be the cost which society have to incur for sorry, society is benefiting for each unit of pollution abatement. So it is given directly, right? 10 per unit. So it will be parallel to, how will it look like? It will look like this, right? This is $10 per unit. Okay, am I clear? Now we get the social marginal benefit curve. However, sorry, social marginal benefit curve, we get the private marginal benefit curve will be equal to 0 in this case. Why? Because if I have to abate pollution, I'm not benefiting out of it, right? The firm is not benefiting at all for the pollution abatement. The society is getting benefited. So the private marginal benefit curve is 0 and social marginal benefit curve is this one, $10, and social marginal cost. Now what will be the value of SMC? Yes,
Ma'am, 400.
no, you have to get the curve for SMC. Social marginal cost. So what we said? We said that social marginal cost is equals to marginal cost of production plus marginal damage, right? Or here we get the private marginal cost. Sorry, social marginal cost will be private marginal cost plus marginal damage, right? So now this is my private marginal cost, which is 40A, and in this case my social marginal cost will be equal to private marginal cost. Okay, is it clear? So 40A will be again my social marginal cost. So till then I'm good. Okay. Now social marginal benefit is given by 10. Is it clear? Private marginal cost and social marginal cost will be equal, which is equal to 48. Sorry, 40A. Is it clear? And private marginal benefit will be equal to 0. Is it clear? Anyone
Yes,
have
ma'am.
any question? Okay, now
Ma'am,
we are
please repeat the
repeat which part?
जो SMC equal to SMB. This
Yes, because the cost of pollution abatement, right? So the pollution abatement function is given as 20 square, right? So either society incur the cost or the firm incur the cost. The cost of abatement will be same only. Is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
So in this case only, we are saying that PMC is equals to SMC, which is equals to 40A. Okay, now we have answered from 1 to D, A to D. Is it clear? Social
Yes,
marginal benefit is 10. Now we are saying that indicate the debt weight loss if the city takes no action. So, if there is no action which is being taken, then what will be the debt weight loss? So, let's say that initially the cost of abatement, uh, the firm will abate till this value, right? So this will be the cost incurred by society. Sorry, this will be the cost incurred for abatement of pollution. Is it clear? So this will be abated by the firm, okay? Abatement of pollution. However, if the abatement of pollution is not done, then this social benefit will not be happening, right? So, is it clear? So, the total benefit, let's say that this whole benefit minus the cost of abatement, this will give us debt loss. So, the loss society is incurring because of no action or because there is no abatement of pollution. So, debt weight loss is given by um, social marginal benefit minus the marginal social marginal cost. Social marginal cost. So if we subtract the cost and benefit, then we get the debt weight loss. So the debt weight loss gives us the no action case. If there is no action being taken, then what will be the loss to the society? Is it clear? The E part? Any question? Yes. Seema, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Shovadarshini, is it clear?
ma'am, it's little bit confusing.
Which one is confusing? Shall I repeat it one more time?
Dead.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Please
Yes, ma'am.
continue. Yeah, please continue. You are asking something, or shall I repeat the part little bit one more time?
Ma'am, dead weight loss.
Okay. Debt weight load. Let's say that let's say that there is no abatement at all. Okay. Let's say that no abatement. There is no reduction of pollution, and there is abatement. There is a two case, right? There is two case only, abatement or no abatement. Am I right? Now, if I abate the abate the pollution, then the cost which I will incur is this one only. Is it clear? So I have to give
Yes,
some
ma'am.
money for the pollution reduction, and this will be the cost. Okay. However, the benefit which I am getting out of it is this whole area, right? This will be the whole benefit area. This one is benefit. Is it clear? And this yellow part is cost. Am I right? Now, if there is no action at all, if this abatement is not done, then there will be no benefit, right? There will be no benefit. So this whole area, which will be net gain. If action is taken, then this will be the net gain to society. If action is done, then this will be net gain to society, which the society is losing because of no action or no action. So this case is known as deadweight loss. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Any further question you can ask? Like uh, you just have to subtract the cost minus total benefit. So the total benefit will be this whole area, and from here you are subtracting the cost, which is this area, purple one. So you get the deadweight loss. Okay. Now we move towards the next one. I hope I'm clear with this point. Now the third part. Let's say calculate the level of pollution abatement that is socially efficient. So we have to find efficient level of abatement, right? So this is given by A star. So we had said that optimum level of abatement will be in such a way that social marginal cost and social marginal benefit is equal to each other. So at this point, optimum level of pollution abatement and the cost will be given. However, if you do more abatement, like at this point, the abatement level is more, however, benefit is lesser. So this is not required. Like this is here, the benefit is lesser and the cost is higher. So these are from the point, let's say A. So this is the optimality beyond which the marginal cost will be more than the marginal benefit, so which is not desirable, right? So we have to equate the social marginal cost and social marginal benefit. So social marginal cost is our curve here, right? 40A. This is our 40A, and social marginal benefit is 10, right? Yeah, if you equate this two, then you get the value of A or value of A star that will be equal to 1 by 4. Is it clear? A star will be equal to 1 by 4. Any question? Do you understand the question number F? Paul, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? You're not audible actually. Mm. Maybe you will have to write on the chat box if you are speaking, because we are not able to hear you. So anyone else have any question, then we can ask. You can ask. So I will summarize the session and then we will end the discussion sessions of today's. Okay, so I'm not receiving any messages, so I'll continue with the last question. Okay, now the last question is, we are saying that if the city institutes a per unit tax on chemical emissions, so if we have to levy the emission tax, then what specific tax will reach the social optimal amount of abatement? So we are asking that if the society have to if the government have to levy some tax on the production of chemical or on the pollution of river by polluting by production of chemicals into the river, then what will be the level of tax? So here we have already discussed that tax is equals to social marginal cost is equals to social marginal benefit, right? So the value of tax should be equal to $10 per unit of chemical pollutant. So they should choose per unit tax as $10. Is it clear? So with this, we are ending today's session. I hope that I'm clear with the concepts till now. So in the next session, then we will try to do some more questions, and then we will move towards the incentive design under the uncertainty and effectiveness. So we will cover this part in the next session. So uh, with this, I will end the session. If you have any question, then you can ask me, like from any slides. So, okay, thank you so much for joining. And okay, uh, okay, then I'll end the session. You will get the PPT on the Drive link, so you can access the questions one more time. You can try to solve them again, and then we will meet in the next session. So if you have any feedback or any further question, then you can ask me in the next session. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.